Hey everyone, this is Aditi and you're watching Legal Bites. Our today's topic of discussion is defamation. In this video, I'll be looking at the introduction to defamation, meaning of defamation, what are the essentials of defamation, and at last but not the least, defenses to defamation. Now let's start our video. Coming to our first topic, that is introduction to defamation. Defamation is an act of saying false things in order to make people have a bad opinion of someone. Basically, it is an act that injures someone's reputation. Now coming to the meaning of defamation. Any intentional false communication, either written or spoken, which harms a person's reputation, degrades the respect, regard and confidence is called defamation. And as per Black's Law Dictionary, defamation means the offence of injuring a person's character, fame and reputation by false and malicious statement. Defamation may be a civil wrong or a criminal offence under Section 499 and 500 of the Indian Penal Code. Section 499 of the Indian Penal Code states that whoever by words, either spoken or intended to be read, or by signs or by any other visual representation, makes or publishes any imputations concerning any person intending to harm the reputation of such person is said to defame that person. Section 500 of the Indian Penal Code talks about punishment as whoever defame another shall be punished with a simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 2 years or with fine or both. And not only defamation is studied under law of torts and criminal law, but there are different provisions in the Indian Constitution that provides its citizens rights not to be defamed unnecessary and without any lawful justification by others. Now we have a leading case law, Subramanian Swamy versus Union of India. What happened in this case was a petition regarding the decriminalization of defamation was filed. The petition challenged the constitutional validity of Section 499 and Section 500 of the Indian Penal Code, stating that there is an unreasonable restriction on the freedom of speech and expression. The apex court held that criminal defamation under Section 499 and Section 500 of IPC did not violate Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause A, as it is a reasonable restriction mentioned under Article 19, Clause 2. The word defamation in Article 19, Clause 2 includes both civil and criminal defamation, and thus Section 499 and Section 500 of the Indian Penal Code was held to be non-discriminatory and non-arbitrary. The court further held that while in a democracy, an individual has right to criticize and dissent, but his rights under Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause A is not absolute, and he cannot defame another person as that would offend the victim's fundamental right to reputation, which is an integral part of Article 21 of the Constitution. Now coming to the essentials of defamation. The first essential is the words must be false and defamatory. If the reputation and character of a person is injured with words which disrupt him professionally, leading only to hatred. Now this has a leading case law, S.N.M. Abdi versus Prafullam Kumar Mohanta. What happened in this case was the article was published in an illustrated weekly of India. It made certain allegations for the wrongful use of man and muscle power by the Chief Minister of Assam, Prafullam Kumar Mohanta. The article so published was considered to be defamatory and the plaintiff was awarded damages up to rupees 5 lakh. Now coming to our second essential, that is the statement must refer to the plaintiff. The plaintiff is required to prove that the statement refers to him. Now this has a relevant case law. Yusupov versus Metro Goldwyn Mayers Pictures Limited. What happened in this case was a film was produced in which a woman of good character and social position was represented as having been forcibly charmed by a man of very bad character. The circumstantial evidence showcased the woman as a wronged woman, and her acquaintances believed that the film referred to her. In this case, damages was awarded to her on account of being defamed. Now coming to a third essential, that is the words must be published. The publication refers that such defamatory words, either written or oral, will be made known to some people other than the defamed person, as reputation is what a man thinks about himself rather than what people think about himself. Basically, communication of defamatory words should be made to a third person. Now coming to the types of defamation, there are two types. The first one is libel and the second is slander. Now what does libel means? Libel is the publication of defamatory words, signs, pictures and false statements without any lawful justification in some permanent form through which the reputation of a person is injured. It can be done through painting, writing or cinematographic films. Basically, libel is addressed to the eyes. Now what does slander mean? Slander is making a false and defamatory statement in some temporary form, be it verbally or orally, without any lawful excuse. It is in the form of rumors and gossips. Basically, slander is addressed to the ears. In India, both libel and slander are tort as well as crime, but in the English law, libel is a civil wrong as well as crime, but slander is just a civil wrong. Now coming to the defenses to defamation. Our first defense is justification or truth. In order to avail this defense, the defendant is required to prove that his statement was true. This defense is available even if the statement is made maliciously. In the case of Radheshyam Tiwari versus Eknath, the defendant published a newspaper article citing the plaintiff as a block developing officer who issues false certificates and accepts bribe for the same. The defendant was not able to prove that his statement was true and thus he was held liable. Now coming to our second defense, that is fair comment. Comment means to critically analyze existing fact. This defense is available to critics, authors and editors. Fair comment means the honest appreciation of existing facts and not an invention of new facts. Now coming to our next defense, that is absolute privilege. Absolute privilege is that kind of privilege in which no action can be taken even if such statement is made false and with malicious statement, like parliament proceedings, judicial proceedings, military proceedings, as they are concerned with public policy. Thus the right to reputation must give way to right to speech. Article 105 clause 2 of the Indian Constitution provides as any statement made by a member of either of the House and any publication of a report under the authority of either of the House cannot be questioned in the court of law. A similar provision under Article 194 is made for state legislatures. Now coming to our next defense, that is qualified privilege. In this kind of defense, the statement made is required to be made without malicious statement. Hey everyone, if you find this video useful, do like, share and comment. We'll meet with the next video very soon. Till then, bye bye. Thank you.